there is a very little shift that is required when we actually try to change ourselves and change the direction of where we are going. Have you ever thought about this? This takes very little, बहुत ही छोटा सा चेंज चाहिए होता है हम लोगों को when we are trying to switch our direction. आपने सोचा है कि एक शिप को जब चेंज करता है डायरेक्शन तो इट हैज़ टू जस्ट मूव ए लिटिल, और वो डायरेक्शन काफ़ी ज़्यादा चेंज हो जाता है, क्योंकि आप जैसे ही एक्सटेंड करते हो ना, सी दिस, ऐसे 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 होता है ना, ऐसे ऐसे फॉर एग्जांपल होता है, राइट? छोटा सा शिफ्ट ऐसे भी, ये हैंड को आप एक्सटेंड कीजिए, कितना बड़ा गैप हो जाएगा. सो हम बहुत दूर चले जाएंगे अगर छोटा सा ही एक गैप, छोटा सा ही एक शिफ्ट अगर हम करें तो मुझे बहुत ही अच्छा एक इंटरेस्टिंग सा पीपीटी मिला था लिंक्डइन में. सो उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा मैं डिस्क्राइब करूंगी. एक तो आप अगर गोल 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 घूम रहे हो, ऐसा आपको लग रहा है, देन आप क्या करो, ऐसे 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 घूम रहे हो तो आप ऐसे 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 घूमो. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस इज, आप थोड़ा सा पर्सपेक्टिव अपना चेंज करो. घूम अगर रहे हैं तो घूमना होगा, बट दिस विल टेक यू अप, थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव पे ले जाएगा वो आपको. थोड़ा सा आप अपना चेंज कीजिए माइंडसेट. तो सेकेंड इज, एक 1 to the power of 1000 अगर करेंगे कितना रहेगा? इट विल रिमेन 1 ओनली. अगर आप थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट करते हैं, छोटा सा 0.1, 1.0.1, 1.0.1 अगर कर देंगे, 365 डेज लेते हैं, मान लीजिए 365 डेज, तो वो हो जाता है 37.7. बस छोटा सा ही शिफ्ट किया एंड इट बिकम्स लाइक से उतने टाइम्स. सो ये छोटा सा शिफ्ट रोज करके देखें, इट विल टेक यू अमेजिंगली टू ए वेरी हाई हाइट. वो आप रियलाइज भी नहीं करोगे. थर्ड इज अबाउट किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने का एक ही तरीका नहीं होता है. देयर विल बी बहुत सारे तरीके, कई सारे तरीके होते हैं एक ही चीज को सॉल्व करने का. दूसरे का भी पर्सपेक्टिव देखिए. मे बी द अदर पर्सन हैव ए बेटर, नॉट बेटर, अनदर वे. अब एक ही प्रॉब्लम का इस तरह से आप सॉल्व करते हो, उस तरह से सॉल्व हो जाएगा. डिफरेंस मतलब तकलीफ ही क्या है? यू विल हैव 2 सॉल्यूशंस ना. सो वो करके देखिए. सेकेंड इज डिसेप्टिव सक्सेस एंड आई एम प्रोग्रेसिंग. सक्सेस कभी एक जगह आके रुकती नहीं है. सक्सेस इज ए जर्नी, नॉट ए डेस्टिनेशन. जब आप कुछ अचीव कर लेते हो, आपको लगता है कि अच्छा हो गया मेरा सक्सेस, वो वहां रुकना नहीं होता है. जो भी सक्सेस आप गेन करते हैं आज के दिन में, इट इज टूडेज सक्सेस. टुमारो देयर विल बी मोर चैलेंजेस, समथिंग एल्स विल कम अप फॉर विच यू नीड टू गिव योर टाइम एंड प्रूव योर सेल्फ. सो एवरी डे यू हैव टू बी प्रोग्रेसिंग. अदरवाइज लाइफ में आप खुद ही सोचिए ना अपने बारे में, there will be no challenge. No challenge means life will not be interesting and you will start feeling like a failure. So every day थोड़ा सा प्रोग्रेस करना जरूरी है. नेक्स्ट इज, माइंडसेट एक ही जैसा रहेगा ना, तो आप एक फ्लैट, आपका प्रोग्रेस भी फ्लैट ही होगा, फ्लैट चलेंगे. थोड़ा सा शिफ्ट करेंगे, देन यू विल गेन हाइट, थोड़ा सा हाइट पे चलेंगे. अंडरस्टूड? देन इंफॉर्मेशन अवेलेबल इज लाइक से यूनिवर्स है. गूगल सर्च कर लेंगे, हाउ मच इंफॉर्मेशन इज अवेलेबल. यूट्यूब सर्च कर लीजिए, हाउ मेनी यूट्यूब्स आर देयर ऑन द सेम सब्जेक्ट दैट यू आर सर्चिंग फॉर. व्हाट यू नीड इज थोड़ा. उस थोड़े को आप यूटिलाइज करके, इफ यू कैन चेंज, ब्रिंग दैट शिफ्ट इन योर लाइफ, देन दैट इज ऑल दैट यू रिक्वायर. हम सोचते हैं कि कितना सारा सीखने को है, Recently I was talking to one of my clients, and he was saying, I am gaining skill, so next year जरूर मेरा हो जाएगा. But skill, how much skill and how much skill will take you there, take you to take a promotion? He was saying skill is a ocean, so how much I learn, it will still be more. Yes, he was absolutely right. But अभी आपको सक्सेस लेने के लिए कितना स्किल चाहिए? हाउ मच इन्फॉर्मेशन डू यू नीड? वो थोड़ा सा छोटा सा होता है. इफ somebody doesn't know, somebody has already who has already solved that problem for himself or herself, if you take their support, then what happens is this छोटा सा टाइम you will save lot of time. छोटा सा इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए होता है आपके ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के लिए. ऑफ कोर्स it opens up a huge world for you, but that world will be only yours, and that possibilities that it opens up is huge, immense for you. For but the trigger is very small. We don't realize that. We try to get everything जो हमको चाहिए है, कभी चाहिए होगा, अभी चाहिए होगा, कभी किसी को बताना होगा करके we try to gain more, and whatever is required that we miss out. And this has been my recent discovery, that what requires to be done, ये like say it escapes many of the people including me. So right now whatever needs to be done, उसी पे फोकस रहिए, and then it will shorten your work. हो सकता है while you are thinking, it will give you a lot of thought, lot of pain point also. Maybe you are not ready to do that, take up that work. Maybe you are expecting somebody to guide you how to do that. None of that sort. Whatever comes to you, if you feel like, and if even if it is a little painful, okay, go ahead and do it, right? So start with a small information. Don't take lot of faltuka. Then if you have time to consume, you have time to create. So it was a very interesting kind of thing that I was looking at. So if you have time to consume, then you have time to create. So what I am saying is, time to consume means so much of time you have, will allow yourself some time to create also. That will trigger your creativity. That is the only way your mind can expand and become useful for you, right? Information will not be useful till you utilize it in something, right? Then your dreams should be between fantasy and reality. For you yourself, it should look like a fantasy first, because you are at a very early stage. You have to grow lot to achieve that dream, but it should not be tilted towards the fantasy. It should not be so much into reality, because reality, your current position, current version, will actually frustrate you. It will disappoint you. So take yourself one or two steps ahead. Position yourself between fantasy and reality, and your dreams will be achieved. Those your dreams are there anyhow. Then reality and imagination and problems. Most of our problems, 80% of them are not true. We realize that. In reality, it's a very small thing we project. Like we can project positively towards positivity. Also, छोटा सा shift and it will expand. The same way, we can project negativity also. If the छोटा सा भी होगा, it becomes huge. 80% of them is not true, your problems. And if it is a very straight kind of goals, then break down into small goals so that you can take a step up, then another. Instead of say 3 big steps, you can have steps like this, one after the other, so that you will have that confidence of achieving something. Then If you will have breaks of knowledge, but to bring that into some utility, it requires skills. So you have to bring your knowledge into a skill form. Between success and ego, you have to choose one. If you choose ego, success will not be there. If you choose success, ego will not be there. What does this mean? In success, there is never ego. It always learns. So it brings you, it levels up your game. Your way, my way, the third way. There is a third way always, as I said. That is your way, that is my way, there is a third way. Can we bring synergy and get to the third way? Then audience and community. You are the one person who is speaking and others are listening. That is what audience is. Community is where the exchange of idea takes place. So that is when a community gets formed up. You are not the only speaker. Others also speak. You also listen. You take insight and you communicate. Interchanging of ideas. Second is once you achieve your goal, then you become your goal, and then your goal extends. Then you take a step further and the goal also gets ahead. So whatever, detach yourself from the outcome and enjoy the process. Each time you achieve a goal, another milestone gets set in your mind. So because that goal is going away, because in between you are achieving other milestones also. So whatever goal that you have set for yourself, that goal becomes bigger with each achievement. Do you realize that? Learning something new, it happens only when we learn a little, do a lot, and then we realize that we have actually consumed that and have utilized, and that knowledge has become something inside. When you add something into a shape, you must learn to subtract what you learn, otherwise there will no vacuum, no space to fill up, right? So to add, you must know how to subtract. And to achieve 10x, you first have to achieve 1x, 2x, 3x, and that is how your ultimate goal will be achieved. Unless you achieve 1x, there will be no confidence. Without any confidence, you cannot go to the next step. Percentage of the worst days you have made it through. When you make it through, the worst day that you have overcome are 100%. But in the beginning, it may seem that there were just few and you cannot overcome them. Once you overcome, even if they are 100%, you have already made it through, and you should be happy. What people think you should do, what you think you should do, and what you must actually do. So there will be huge expectation of people. They actually don't know what you should be doing. That is a small portion. Actually, that is a small portion, and I can relate to an interesting story about this. So there is a job portfolio. Nowadays, I see that happening a lot of time. So I saw that there is a huge job profile, and this person is doing 100%. But he is not able to get the promotion, and the other people also are not satisfied in the management. What is happening? What is happening actually? If he was doing everything, the small thing, which that one line thing, which was required to be done, which was the exact thing, actually would have taken him a lot of time, so much time that he wouldn't be able to do the other things. So in order to accommodate the all other things which are not relevant to his job, he was taking up all other things, ignoring this thing, because it will take all his thing. But that is exactly what he was needed to do. Give it a thought. Give it a thought. This is very interesting. Imposter syndrome happens to us most of the time is when we are depressed, we think that we know very little. Is that true? Think for yourself how much you know, or let us say how much the other person knows. Write that down, how much the other person knows, and then you will see that you also know all of that. So when you start this, so the exercise is this simple. So first, noting down what the other person knows and check whether you already know that or not. If there is a small gap, there has to be a small gap in between, because two people are never the same. So what the other person doesn't know, what the other person knows that you don't know, we can always learn. Learning is a continuous process and there is no ego out here. And because of that small thing, because sometime in between we have involved our ego, might be that is the reason why we are thinking that we don't know anything. It's not true. It is a game of the ego. Please mind that. One step at a time. So how much can you do? If you want to do, how much can you do? Suppose you want to go somewhere. How can you go? One step at a time, right? So that one step is applicable everywhere. Wherever you are working, if you are working there, so take one step at a time. So simple, but we clutter ourselves with so many other things. And how do we achieve our results? The environment needs to be changed, our perception needs to be changed, we have to change our behavior, then results are achieved. That is the usual process. But suppose you want to achieve some kind of result, then you need to reverse engineer and think what needs to be changed, which is why the result has blocked from getting to you. So we can always reverse engineer from results, then we change our behavior. Suppose we assume that the result is already there. Who we will be, how we will behave. So let us start thinking backwards. So at the end, which is actually the beginning, will be the environment needs to be changed, otherwise nothing will change, right? When we do multitasking, our energy is kind of spread out in all directions. Popular belief is that we do multitasking. It is never possible. At one time, the brain can focus just into one, and we mm, force the brain to go from here to here to quite in a short span of time. We ask the brain to go everywhere. Then the brain becomes scatterbrain in multitasking. But in a focus kind of way, the energy remains focused and there will be greater quality in our work. You miss 100% of shots you don't take. how how much how much how much did you miss if you don't do anything? You miss everything, right? Motivation will, if you are motivated, then it will go up, then it will go down, it will go up and it will go down. Ultimately it will always be following this up and down game. But if you are disciplined, it will go up, then might be flattened, then again it will push yourself to go up, then it will flatten, and ultimately you will be, even if the motivation or the discipline is at a flatter bed, still you will be high up. Truth and perspective. What we see of truth is a small portion of our perspective. And learning, doing, and when we are associating learning and doing, that is when we are growing. If we are only learning and not doing, nothing is happening. Life in theory, life in practice. Life in theory is a straight line. Life in practice is like, say, it's taking lot of topsy-turvy, and you are going up, down, failing all the time, and then you are achieving. So it is never a straight line. Everything you have ever wanted is on the other side of the fear. Always overcome your fear, and then you will be there. Naval Ravikant say, live the life you want other people to live. So if you want other people to behave in a very ideal way, then you be focused and have that integrity to live yourself the way. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That is what Jim Rohn says. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. So decide that right now, who the person, and that is a test, that is an exercise actually. You have to give yourself often, repeat it every day. It might not be possible. Live with the experience. When you write down that experience, that what kind of person, what kind of lifestyle you will be having, live in that experience after you have written down, and amplify that experience. And that is how the success will be gained, and hope this has helped you in quite a significant way. That is my learning today. And please write down your takeaway, whatever is happening, and it will be of then we can actually discuss about this. Thank you so much for watching this.